welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Leesburg. My name is Renee, and we're so glad you joined us today. Our theme for 2026 is Open at the Top. This month, our focus is What If? Today's message is Being a Possibilitarian, which we'll be giving by our own Reverend Charlene Banks. We're so glad that you joined us today. Please feel free to add to the chat or in the comments any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like to have included in our service when we provide our community spiritual mind treatment, which is a form of affirmative prayer. We invite you to get comfortable and relax into this moment as we will officially begin our service with this welcoming video.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Renee. And what a beautiful opening. And I just love new life in the congregation. And can the church say amen? Oh, I'm sorry, that's a whole different denomination. So welcome, welcome. It's so good to see you here. Good morning, good Sunday morning as Tamara travels to visit her dad. I do say hello to my dad. Hi there. And all the dads that are listening. I do want us all to go into a moment of breath work. So normally Tamara talks us through a beautiful meditation for visioning, and I too shall give you my twist on it. Here we go. Life is in the breath. For if you think about it, we cannot live and breathe and have our beingness without that second thing, breathing. It is in and through every moment of our lives. It is with us from our first breath to that last one. All the teachings allow us and teach us how to connect with our higher truth. And the first thing they teach us is to inhale and hold for a moment and then breathe. The connection between ourselves and the life that breathes us is right there in our attention. So release any thoughts, anything that you might be dwelling on, and bring your attention to the breath. And settle into the breathing in and the breathing out. Now relax your shoulders. And breathe in. And breathe out. Allow the strumming of the guitar to inform the pace. Now relax your jaw. And slowly keep breathing in and out. Now relax your upper body from your torso all the way to your head. Sink into your seat. This is an exercise in letting go. Letting go of thoughts, tension, ideas, and just being still. It feels good. And I am calling in our ascended masters, our ancestors, our beings of light that are always around us, always waiting for us to ask for help. And I am asking now. Allow me to receive the highest, the most clear communication, so that I may be a transmission of that message. As a prism reflects the light in varieties of colors, I too am a receiver of light. And I know each and every one of us are also saying this in their minds. They too are receivers and transmissions of light. Allow me to vibrate at the highest possible frequency so that I can communicate where words cannot meet the thought and the spirit and the idea, that I can be the transmission. I ask and I allow, and I know that it is happening right now. So go ahead and wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, come back into the room as we see what Leah has for us.
We don't know what's coming, but we can help shape what's ahead. Kindness is our currency, the commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, give a little, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round, there's more than enough. I believe in the power of kindness. I believe in the power of love. I believe in the power of kindness. I believe in the power of love. The honeybees, their sweetness, wanna help the whole world bloom. Bringing love to the flower, from the flower to the fruit, we can learn a thing or two. So give a little, give a little, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round, there's more than enough. I believe in the power of kindness. I believe in the power of love. Power of love. I believe in the power of kindness. I believe in the power of love. Power of love. I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. The power of love.
Woo! Oh man, she never disappoints. We're so blessed. Thank you, Leah. That was amazing. Wow. Yeah. Everybody was grooving in the Zoom. So I hope you're grooving too wherever you are. I'm going to start this talk with a story. Actually, the reading that is in my minister's notes comes straight out of Ernest Holmes's mouth, and it was in a book called Love and Law, which is a great book. And when we teach from this book when we're doing our classes, and when I was doing my training, a lot of times people would think, oh, there's so much law, the law of circulation, the law of cause and effect, the law. There's not enough love in Ernest Holmes' teachings, is what some people say. And Ernest himself said on his sort of last moments in life, if only he could do one thing differently, it would be spend more time talking about love. And so as a minister, I too find myself leaning toward the logic and the reasoning and the law of it and how things work. And I can explain it to you, and I can map it back to quantum physics if you would like. And then I remember, oh, that's right. Don't forget, it's all about love. So when I read this little snippet from you, and it's a good chunk, just listen in for where it might meet you right where you are in your heart. I'll begin with the first part, and I'll try not to add commentary. I am aware of who I am. I do hear myself. In case you wondered, so I'm going to try to do it cleanly. There is only one thing that I ask of you, and that is that you will believe absolutely that this thing works. If you do not believe it works, it will not work, because everything is belief. He goes on to say, everything is mind, and all operation is thought, and there is not a law in the universe that is not the power of mind in action, and there never was, and there never will be. Anything you ever saw or ever will see is simply the result of mind in action. You have a body, and you have what we call a physical environment, and you would have neither if it weren't for mind. When mind desires your body to disappear, your body will disappear. What the re-embodiment will be, nobody does know. If you can learn to live today and get a lot out of life and have as much fun as I have had today, he said, and be as prosperous as we all ought to be, and be well, you should not worry what is going to happen tomorrow. You take absolutely too much responsibility upon yourself. It amounts to fear, which is natural consequence of the belief in limitation. Last paragraph. I want to endeavor to show you how you can become less limited. I say again, this will mean absolutely nothing to you. It is worthless, useless, unless you absolutely believe it. And not only believe it, but that you go right at it as though you had always known it and it had always worked and there was no possibility of failure. You will get the biggest results if you will say nothing to anybody of what you want to do. If we could add to the commandments, the greatest would be mind your own business. Drop the mic and then he walks off. I imagine Ernest in my head. Dude, he said a whole lot in that couple of paragraphs. And so the title of the talk today is being a possibilitarian, which sounds a lot like what we've been talking about all month. What if you had the power to live any life you just decided you were going to live? What if you chose to just be happy right now, not tomorrow? And what if you chose some things are just not in your wheelhouse? Some things that you're looking at, it's not yours to do. And Ernest would say, none of your business. What? See, I love this. So it all stems from knowing the truth and then allowing ourselves to hold that truth even in the face of people who would doubt. As long as we're not the ones who are doing the doubting, then we're the ones who can embody what it is that we believe we can do. Now that's the problem though, the belief, that's what I struggle with, and that's what people who come to me struggle with, the absolute belief in what we know to be true, because we want to make it true for everybody. Now, show me a show of hands. I have more than a few people in the room, so I should be able to see. Hands up if you have resisted embracing a certain thing for yourself because you could not make that true for everything in the world, because you don't see how that law of abundance is playing out in everybody's world. You see too many places where it's not, then you have to make it true for everybody before you can believe it for yourself. Show of hands. I see this too as a minister, and I see the hands in the chat. Yes, because here's what happens. People are reluctant to let go of what's holding them back, because then they have to live with the idea that they held themselves back. They'd rather hold themselves back and be comfortably uncomfortable as long as someone else is to blame, because then they can have their limitations, and then they can have excuses, and then they can have a commiserating party. We call it a pity party. And then they can gripe, because that's all they see for themselves. When I give in these classes people a glimpse of another idea of themselves, the divine idea of themselves, guess what happens? Then they fight me for it. They fight for their own limitations. So that's a problem, because I can't force you to take on your highest good. You've got to come to it. It's the old adage, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make him poop in it. Sorry. That's a callback from last week. Yeah. Anywho, you can lead the horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. So what do we do then? If we know, well, let's just say you don't know for sure. That's why we come to these groups. That's why we find spiritual community, because sometimes I know that it is my divine right to be wonderfully abundant. I have more Then I need, so I share from the overflow. I arrive in a room and I look for how I can be of service. I'm not there to get, I'm there to give. There's times when I'm fully embodying in that high ideal of Charlene. I'm just here to serve and I'm happy. There are other times when, things are looking kind of terrible and I'm not sure I believe it, and that's why we need each other, because nobody vibrates in that feeling 100% of the time. We want to, but sometimes, we're human. So that's why we create these environments, these communities, these workshops, these ways of showing up with each other. I'll say a thing and you'll go, oh my gosh, that's right. And then you'll walk away with it. You're holding yourself a little higher. Or I listen to you and I go, oh, that's right. We're all just remembering who we are together. And we need each other to do it. So Ernest says, or in my notes here, part of the weekly discussion, imagine a world where we remember every moment that we are each the living breath of the one spirit. That where we are, each of us, one thread in this tapestry of divinity, and it's an amazing combination of every color, every texture, every fiber is different because we're all contributing to this beautiful construct. No one is less than another in this world. Love is not a choice we have to force ourselves to make. It is our natural state. It's just how we wake up every day. Every decision we make shapes a world that works for everybody else. Wow, imagine that. Like that would be fantastic. And then if you think about it like this, what if we did that where we didn't have any borders? There's no such thing as borders. It's just a fluency. It's a fluid combination of everyone doing their part and sort of reveling in it, interacting with each other. And the impossible things now are everyday experiences because we've not held ourselves from seeing that. We've not created barriers and told ourselves that we can't do this and we can't do that. So that one little thing where you create your own barriers, you create your own limitations, or you might have grown up in a family where you are one of several siblings. And as anybody with siblings knows, is that you've got to sort of carve out your space in that group dynamic. If you're the firstborn, you tend to be more structured and more of a leader. If you're the middleborn, well, you weren't the middle forever. Like in the beginning, you were the youngest until the other one came, and it just kind of goes. When you have a group of siblings, they naturally carve out their own way of being distinct from each other. So you might say, oh, well, so-and-so is the gymnast, so this one is the flautist, and this other one is the artist. They do oil on canvas. And this, you might find yourself in a family trying to be distinct in your qualities, which is fine because that tapestry does need a whole bunch of different colors and textures. I think the problem comes when we compete for attention based on those attributes. When they talk about the whole middle sibling theory or the first child syndrome, and there's all these different ways of trying to categorize our psychological makeup, and it has to do with our family of origin, and we end up just sort of moving through the world in a way that we've learned to move within our family. And sometimes that works for us, and sometimes that's what we're trying to overcome. Let's be honest, we all didn't grow up in, happy daisies and lilies of the valley, but it's all whatever you grew up in, that's what you're working with as your clay, and you get to shape that in your current life. So I don't want us to just pretend like we don't have a need to be distinct from each other. And when I say tapestry, I don't want a monotone. I don't want beige. Please. I would like colors. Beige borders, but please give me some color. Like, we would love for everybody to maintain whatever specialness that they grew up carving out for themselves, or maybe if you didn't really pick one because that was your specialty, not to have one, then that's fine too. Pick your lane, get in there, and really be you. Now, I talk about this a lot, but let's talk about if you have no scarcity, like if there was a world where there was no scarce resources, everything was abundant, and then you don't, is that a vision that you could support? Or does your story, the way you present to the world, does your story depend on scarcity? Think about it. Think about what you talk about every day. Now, the reason I say that, there are some people, and I don't know that any of them come to our center regularly, so I'm not talking about someone here, so to speak, but I have met people who, without the story of lack, whether it's money or some other thing, without that story, they don't know who they would be. So I would love for us to release our story. I would love for every time we hear one of those high vibrational, idealistic things that we say, all people want love. We want to feel that love. All people want to be happy, be successful, feel successful, whatever that looks like. All people want good relationships that are nurturing, to be seen, to be heard, to be included. All people want to experience beauty. These are the high ideals of being human. Now, if we all know that that's true, and if we're not experiencing that right now in our lives, then we have some paperwork to do. The paperwork, just bust open your journal and start writing down. Let's say you feel like, I'll pick abundance just for fun. Let's say you feel like you're worried about money, you keep worrying about money, but Ernest Holmes says, well, that's tomorrow, so stop doing that. But let's say that's a problem. You hear people talk about life is abundant, you are abundant, and part of you says, no, I'm not. Okay, paperwork is involved. Break out your journal and write down, I experience infinite abundance. Or say it in a way that makes you go, no, you don't. I have so much monetary resources that I give freely to whoever needs it. No, you don't. Whatever sentence, and it could be just one sentence, but give the sentence that makes your actual feeling that, I don't believe in abundance for everyone because there's too much poverty. Charlene, you can't convince me that everyone can have abundance because I'm looking right now at a picture of a child who does not have abundance. So until that person has total abundance, then I won't allow myself to feel like I have total abundance. So that's the thing I'm talking about. Whatever's keeping you from claiming this as your own, whatever attribute of the divine that you think is not available everywhere because so many people are suffering, do that one. And then I want you to do the paperwork to ask yourself, what am I really avoiding? What is the truth about me that I don't want to look at? What story am I telling that is going to need this point of view to stay the same? Because I really need to have this story. I don't know who I would be if I could not complain about money. That one. Because that's the part that's keeping you from accepting your gifts. And I don't know what it maps back to. That's why I say start your journal. Get your journal going. When did you first feel that way? When did you start embracing, in a bad way, this thing that's not true about you? I was listening to a man on a podcast who said that when he was young, he was told that he can't sing. He was told he can't sing. When he started, everybody said, shut up. He was like, okay. So he just figured, I guess I suck at this. So he does not sing. And then, the man was talking about how fascia, the connective tissue between our bones, because our bones apparently don't connect to each other. They connect to the fascia, which connects to the other bone. And he does all this movement of the fascia, and that's how you can heal. Anyway, he was talking about moving the fascia in his vocal cords to the degree that he stopped blocking his ability to sing. And now he could just belt one out and he sounds fantastic. I'm like, wait, what? So apparently, Ernest already told us. He said, you are a divine being. You came here. We don't know where we're going. Sure, not our business anyway. Right here, right now, if you believe you can have anything, then you can have it. period. It's your belief that you can't have it that's keeping you from it. So that is what people they don't want to get with it, because what they'll learn is two things. One, it was me the whole time. And then they add another thing. Dang it, if I had only learned this earlier, then I would have had a different life. But I say no, and you're never too late. If you're still breathing, there's enough time. And then, what would happen if you embraced that? This man said, I believed that I could not sing. And so he couldn't sing. And now he's like, wait, what? What are you holding back? And I would just say that whatever you're trying not to let go of, whatever you're arguing with, if you went to a metaphysical class, by the way, this is not an advertisement for the series of workshops that's starting in April, but it's kind of is. So I didn't realize I was doing that, so shout out to the divine. If you take a workshop and I tell you something that's true, and it sounds too good to be true, it sounds like amazing, it would be great if I could have that, and the only thing keeping you from it is your story, well, there's the work. There is the work that needs to be done. And I don't want to say that it's years of therapy so you can release all of the origin stories of where you came from. No, in an instant, you can release. It's like taking off blinders. In an instant, you'll see, oh my gosh, I can't have that. That is who I am. I allow myself. That the vocal cords are open now. That thing. Everybody has the ability to elevate themselves to the person they came here to be. And there are things that we held on to that are holding us back from it. And so the work is to let go of whatever story that we think we need to live this life, even though it's very uncomfortable. We're happy to just be uncomfortable and get it over with. And then on the deathbed, you find out, what? I could have what? It was me the whole time? So this is a freedom teaching. And it's not, the cool part is you decide what thing. You decide. I'm not saying you have to go through this ladder, and on the ladder you'll have these different levels of enlightenment, and pay me $3,000 per level, please, and also give me your car. No, that's called a cult. Me, all I'm doing is saying, you already know, it's in you. All we have to do is what Michelangelo did with David. He was like, so I chopped away all the pieces of the marble that weren't David, and there was David standing in front of me. It's that. It's already there. You just need to expose it, reveal it. One little chisel at it to cut away everything that's not true. Let it go, like little Elsa in that song. And then, what will you be left with? You in all of your glory. And this is the possibilitarian thinking, where you're imagining this life where we're all one, but we're many voices, but we're one. Now, speaking of many voices, shout out to all of you who went out yesterday to do the No Kings March. I was over here holding you in prayer. Wow, there were so many people unified with the fact that we have agency in choosing how we live, where we live. We are democracy for a reason. And if we get a smell, a hint, a whiff of someone that would like to take that away and start some old kingship thing, we're not here for it. No, thank you. No. Excuse you. Not what we agreed upon. And that was what I'd love to see. So we're talking the imagining of what we can be, and then actually standing up against anything that we don't assign, anything that we don't, what's that word, sign up for. Like, if you know what you do want, you go toward that. And you have the right to point out when something is not in alignment. If a whole group of people agreed on something, and then all of a sudden you see one person trying to pull it another way, you have every right to say, not today. No, we don't do that. And so I loved seeing that too. These are the possibilitarian thinking. What's possible when we do get together and use all of our voices, and each way that we choose to present this voice as one beautiful tapestry of humanity that wants a world that holds each other up, that does not fight for seeming scarcity, but that recognizes the abundance within all of us. And when we're allowed to just dream, nobody has the exact same dream as the other one. That competition, it's fake, it's fabricated. It's what keeps us small, thinking that, oh, if you get skinny, then you're going to get attention. I want to be the skinny one. Okay, now y'all are fighting over skinny while there's other people just trying to become a king. That's the problem. Oh, now you're fighting over. So there are sometimes, not every thought is a thought for us to take in. Not every thought that passes by is any of our business. But when we're rooted in our divine nature, connected to the truth about ourselves, and envisioning a life that makes us chop away everything that's not purely our divine person that we came to be, and then celebrating each other into their divinity of what they came to be, we work together as that beautiful tapestry. It all looks fantastic. And nobody had to give up anything. We're all getting stronger together. That's how that works. And so I'm just here to say you're doing it right. If you're here, you're listening, you're working, and it's work, but it's play. It's fun to find out how all of these philosophies work. And I love that you all are courageous. You have curiosity to find out, well, what if I do think something different? The what if month of what if I could have whatever I want? What if we were one and we could make each other stronger? And that is the beginning of a whole new world. Break into song? Maybe not. So I'll leave you with a quote from Ernest Holmes. All the power of the universe is with you. Feel it, know it, and then act as if it were true. Let's go into prayer. As I return back to that space where the divine is breathing me, it's living as me, through me, I am so grateful that I can see the oneness. I can just know that everywhere present is the spirit, the energy of the divine. There's no spot where you can't find it. It's everywhere present. And that in this infinite set of possibilities that we all have that direct connection to the divine, no middlemen needed. That through this divine connection, we grow into our true selves, and we know we're on the right path because all of the flowers and the daisies and the joy and the evidence that life is good and it overflows and it blesses others, that's the evidence that we're on our path. And so I'm so grateful that we have a community that we can express this whole high idea of ourselves. We can support each other. We love each other through everything we're going through. And I speak my word that right now, each of us more boldly goes into that world that we see for ourselves, that world where we are beyond limits. And so we move into our next beingness with confidence and with power and with infinite light. So I'm so grateful to see this unfold. I'm so grateful to know that we live in a world where we can express our opinions and protest anything we don't like and build a world that we see the possibilities for. I release my word into the law knowing it is already done, and I let it be. And so it is. I'll get Leah back here so she could sing.
I believe in the goodness of you, in the goodness of me, in the goodness of everybody. I believe in the goodness of you, in the goodness of me, in the goodness of everybody. We were born to love, to love, to love. We were born to love, to love, to love. I believe in the goodness in the goodness of you. I've been the goodness of me. I've been the goodness of everybody. I believe in the goodness. I've been the goodness of you. I've been the goodness of me. I've been the goodness of everybody. We were born to love, to love, to love. We were born to love, to love, to love.
Wow, that was so good. Did you all notice how she sang different parts of the song on different parts? Okay, you have to go back and watch that on YouTube. All right, Tamara is not here, so I will play her role today. And it is time to donate. And so I just want to point out that there are many ways to give, and no matter how you give, we appreciate your gifts. We use them, we grow ourselves, the center, and we give back to the global organization. So thanks for doing that. There are many ways to give online, and go to cslleesburg.org for the different ways to give. Let's do our affirmation together, and then I'll show you some things I've been working on. Let's just do this blessing of our gifts. So imagine the collection plate has just gone through the room. Everybody put in their stuff, and then we're standing in the front. We're blessing these gifts. Everybody puts their hands up and they say, "The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everyone I touch, everything I touch too, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live." And so it is. And then the ushers would walk to the back and they would put it in the secure corner where they count all the funds. Okay. If we were still meeting in person and if people gave actual paper, that's what that would look like. Let me talk to you about the what if when it comes to other things. So I've been working on our website. I don't know if you noticed, but I have been. And so I'm about to take you to our website, and I want to take you there so that you all can see the wonderful things that are going on in our center. So there's our new website, cslleesburg.org. And if you go over to Grow and you look at workshops, you'll see that there's a series of workshops I've put together for us. I'm also going to teach one certificated class for those of you still on your journey to get all good at this stuff. So there'll be two paths. But for April, possibly the second Saturday in April, I'm still workshopping the day. We're going to do a Reclaiming Your Power workshop because I think I've seen a lot and I met a lot of people, and what they've been doing is maybe not really stepping into the power that is theirs. And so that one. And then there's another one for May where a lot of times we're told that neurodiversity is the problem. Here we're talking about, are you a little neurodiverse? Here's why that's your superpower. In June, I'll be talking to you about active compassion. We'll know what to say to people when they've undergone some sort of loss. We'll know how to support each other in trauma rather than just ghost them because they're going through something. And then finally, no more middlemen. I do have two more, but I don't have the dates yet. No more middlemen. This is my favorite one because of the Beguines, and you know what we're talking about. No more middlemen. How do you get to the divine? Directly. You don't have to go through, the whole 5-story building to get to the top. And so that's what we're working on. And don't forget that you definitely should go to the theme. That's somewhere like, there, 2026, your monthly theme. Don't forget to get your journal prompt. I know I gave you one today, but another journal prompt for you. If you go in, you'll be a congregant. And go ahead and ask. Go ahead and get a prompt so you can start journaling and then give us feedback on your lesson. Don't forget that at your CSL Leesburg, you can also click Give, and that's where you'll see ways to support PayPal, Cash App, credit card, ACH. Listen, you can meet me by railway. We have many ways to get to us. Just get here if you can. And that's all I have to say about that. So, hopefully all of that resonates with you. Let me go back to the final slide where we're all going to unmute ourselves. And we're all going to do the final affirmation, knowing we're going to hang out after and we're going to talk about who was on Renee's lap, what little person was there when she did the introduction. And if you missed that, you missed a gem. You got to stay for that. We're going to talk about everything that maybe resonated with you in this talk and beyond. But first, an affirmation. We know love is everywhere. Guess where it is? It's together inside of us. So everybody say with me, and you can unmute if you can. I am love.
I
I am love.
Yes. Now, love is all around us. It's in everyone. Find someone or a furry animal or just point at your screen and say, you are love.
You are love.
Our love.
You are love. Okay, it's time. Demonstrate it. Put your hands in the air and wave them like you're one of those car salesman floaty things. It's all love, y'all.
It's all love.
All love.
All right, good. I heard all of you. Yay. All right, well, go off and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Sunday and stick around if you can. Now, if you're watching us online, come on over to the Zoom. All right, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Okay, now we're off. They changed everything.